I remember one time I wanted to go to homecoming, like not my homecoming, but like another school's homecoming. And me and like my two friends were planning like to go or whatever. And I was like, oh no, like I can't go. Like I won't be able to go because I'm going to be on my period. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about how I got rid of my menstrual cramps. So before we jump into this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, turn on your post notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and welcome to the channel, sis. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about how I got rid of my menstrual cramps. So this is something completely different for me to be discussing on YouTube. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. Okay, so I have my little notes right here because I wrote down just a few things that I wanted to be sure that I mentioned in the videos. If I'm looking down, that's why, sis. But let's just go ahead and start off with a backstory about my menstrual cycle. Okay, so I basically got my cycle when I was, I think 12, maybe 13. One of those two. I got it like over the summer, so I was one of the lucky ones. I wasn't like in school at the time. I was at home at my house, and I was able to kind of like understand what was going on before I had to end up going back to school like a month, 2 months later. So that was good for me. But I started off my cycle, like I said, over the summer, and I had really bad menstrual cycles. Like I'm talking headaches, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, intense cramps. I'm talking could not stay a full day at school, like overflowing pads, like just horrible. Honestly, like just a horrible experience overall from the beginning. Okay, so you guys, that is basically how my period went for years and years and years. And then as I got older, I started taking birth control when I turned 18. Not for, you know, not so that I wouldn't like get pregnant or anything, because I wasn't even having sex at that time. But when I did get on birth control, it was because of the cramps. My gynecologist was basically like, you know, we can put you on birth control. This will help to, you know, decrease the flow and then hopefully help with your cramps and everything like that. So I got on birth control. Cool. I was on that. And I took birth control. We'll get into that about how long I took it for or whatever, but I took it and it did help a little bit. It helped a little bit with the flow, but once again, my period was still irregular. It had been irregular the whole time. It was never like a consistent 28-day cycle. It was always here and there and all over the place. And so when I was taking the birth control, I was still having an irregularity and I was still having the cramps. She basically prescribed me some Naproxen, which is just Aleve, and I would take the 550. So I would take an Aleve. It was supposed to be the Naproxen twice a day. I would be trying to take it 3-4 times a day because that's how bad the cramps were. And I basically continued on with this all throughout college and everything. And then I had to end up switching around birth controls. I probably switched birth controls maybe like 3 times. And then I got to the point where I had to end up taking the Progesterone Only birth control, which is, for one, only about 80% effective as compared to a estrogen progesterone combo birth control. And when I say effective, I mean as far as like pregnancy and things, it's only about like 80% effective or so. It's the type of birth control that women take when they are breastfeeding, and they're not able to take the combo with estrogen in it. So it's simply not as effective, but I had to switch over to that one because of migraines. So I have suffered from migraines. Well, I suffered from headaches just as a kid, and then they just got worse as I got older and developed into migraines with like light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, smell sensitivity, all that kind of stuff. And so when I switched over to the Progesterone Only, I was still having issues with cramps. So the birth control, it lightened it up a little bit, but it still I was still having really intense cramps and like a really unpleasant cycle. And when I tell you, like, some days I was just like, I can't go anywhere. Like I have to be at home. And like I was starting to plan my life around my cycle, like doing my best to, like, for example, like I remember one time I wanted to go to homecoming, like not my homecoming, but like another school's homecoming. And me and like my two friends were planning like to go or whatever. And I was like, oh no, like I can't go. Like I won't be able to go because I'm going to be on my period. Like, how horrible is that, to just like not even be able to live your life normally because of that? Because I knew I was going to need to be at home in bed, taking my Naproxen with a heating pad on my stomach, just not going anywhere, doing anything for at least 2 to 3 days at the beginning of my cycle. So fast forward to, I believe, I want to say like February, March of last year. So now we're about to jump into a little bit of spiritual content. So if you're new, sis, which most of y'all probably are, unless you're coming over here from my main channel, you may not be aware that I am fairly spiritual and very much into like astrology and just all things related to spirituality. So I started going through my spiritual journey maybe like February, March, April last year. It was a gradual process. I'll probably do a story time on it just because that's what the purpose of this channel is, for me to talk and share these things with you guys to help you along. So yeah, I started going through that, and when I was going through that process, I was starting to hear about Yoni eggs. And there is a YouTuber, her name is Jalen. Her channel is It's Baby J. She has a great channel, and I've been following her for years, like way before she started posting spiritual content, like back when she was just doing story times and stuff, and then she like transitioned into basically all spiritual content. Like she doesn't do story times and stuff anymore. But anyway, I was watching one of her videos and she was talking about Yoni eggs, and so I was like, okay, like this is interesting. And she was saying how the Yoni egg just helped her basically to heal the trauma in her womb space so that she wouldn't have. So I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. So basically, if you are involved in spirituality at all, this, what I'm about to say, is not going to come as a shock to you. But if you are not, you may be, for one, you might not believe me, and for two, you might just be very confused overall. So we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And basically we have energy fields that are called chakras, and one of them is called your sacral chakra, and that is basically your womb space. That's where if you have any type of issues with that space, you're going to experience things like intense menstrual cramps, very heavy cycles. You may have trouble orgasming. You may have STDs, yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, all those kinds of things if that chakra is unbalanced. And so it's very important to heal any type of trauma in that area so that you can have a healthy womb space and not experience those types of basically illnesses while you're on this earthly realm. So I know that's probably like a mouthful, but you know, I hope you get it. If you don't get it, then we can talk about it in another video. But basically, using a Yoni egg is in fact, let me grab my Yoni egg so that I can show y'all what it looks like. So let me take it out of the bag. This is what a Yoni egg looks like. And basically you just insert it into your vagina, and it helps with the healing process. I'm going to do a whole video on it and just kind of go in detail about like how to use it and everything like that, but that was definitely a huge part of how I got rid of my cramps. Basically, at this point, after I used the Yoni egg and did like healing work on my sacral chakra, which just includes like journaling and doing shadow work and stuff like that. Shadow work is just basically like looking to your past and reviewing like past life traumas and things like that, and journaling about it and talking through it and healing from it, basically. So after I did that, and I started drinking red raspberry leaf tea as well. Red raspberry leaf tea, I've known about this tea for such a long time, because you guys probably don't know this because this is a new channel, but I'm a pharmacist. Well, I'm a pharmacist. I don't really practice as much anymore. I'm kind of more into content creation, as you can see by me making this video, but I am a licensed pharmacist. And so I learned about this tea when I was in school because it's an herbal. So when I was learning about it, I read, of course, that it can help with menstrual cramps and things, but I really didn't pay too much attention to it until recently. So I bought the tea from Whole Foods. You can get it probably on Amazon as well. I'm sure other grocery stores have it too. It's just tea. It comes in a tea bag. You just steep it in the water, drink it, voila. So basically I drink that tea once a day, maybe twice a day, while I'm on my cycle for at least the first like 4 days or so. And when I tell you, you guys, it helped so much with my cramps, so much. Like, I don't even take the Naproxen anymore. Like, after I've done this like healing work and then drink the tea, like, I don't even need it. Like, of course I still experience, well, I'm not gonna say of course, but I do still experience cramping like in the first 2-3 days or so of my cycle. But when I tell you it's so light, like the cramping is just not, it's not enough. It's not like debilitating to me like how it used to be. I don't need to stay in bed with a heating pad on for 2-3 days trying to just comfort myself, and I'm actually able to move around and do work and continue on with my daily life, and that is so amazing. It's so amazing to be able to do that tea in addition to using honey pot products. I don't know if you guys have, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, maybe you haven't used it, but Honey Pot is a black owned, basically like menstrual pad, tampon, whatever brand. And I absolutely love it. And the packaging says on it that it can help with cramps and things, but I was like, okay, like we'll see. But yeah, her products, they have like this, I don't want to say like minty, but like a soothing kind of like tingling sensation that you'll experience when you're wearing the pad. I have not tried out their tampons, but I'm sure it's like the same thing, but they're really, really soothing. And I'm like, wow, I love this. It's so nice. And it literally says on the package that it will help you with menstrual cramps. And I was like, wow, like this really works. This really works. So between her products, the red raspberry leaf tea, the healing of the sacral chakra, and using the Yoni Egg, sis, cramps are basically non-existent to me at this point. And it's so amazing for me to say that after I experienced like such debilitating cramps for years. Okay, so I highly recommend that you guys try out the Honey Pot products, that you purchase the red raspberry leaf tea, that you try. You may not be there yet with using the Yoni Egg, but you can definitely like do some journaling and some reflecting about past sexual experiences, whether it's any type of trauma, abuse, or if it's, you know, anything. Like, I personally have never experienced any type of sexual abuse, thankfully, but of course there's still things that happen in your life that you should be journaling about. So that's definitely going to help you. So just overall, honestly, you guys, at the very least, buy the tea and buy the Honey Pot products. Like, at the very least, I'm telling you, it will absolutely help you. Even if you just drink the tea in addition to taking your normal medications, whether it's Aleve, Advil, whatever, it's definitely going to help you. Absolutely. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I wanted to say about how I got rid of my cramps. And I am going to do a whole video on my Yoni Egg experience, in case anyone is interested in that. I feel like there aren't too many videos on YouTube about that, because when I was looking for some, but when I first got my Yoni Egg, I didn't see too many. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one for you guys as well. Hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.